All right, well, this is the very first episode of the Pursue a Dream podcast, and I have with me Shane Nelson.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about yourself and, where growing up, where you're from and stuff like that.
Growing up, man, I was born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina, man. I went to school at Blue Ridge Middle School, and then I ended up switching high schools, so just down the road from here. I went to the charter school. That was at.
Oh, you went to the charter school?
Yeah, that was at. Because I went to Blue Ridge for like a month. And then
Blue Ridge High School?
Yeah.
Your freshman year?
Yeah, and I was like, man, see, this really isn't for me. And then I found out my mom worked for the middle school. And my mom was like, well, there's this another high school you can go to that's right down the road, and you can go take college classes. So I did that and almost graduated with an associate's degree from high school with almost an associate's degree. So going to university, I was sitting pretty nice.
So in college?
I went to North Greenville University. I just graduated last April, and I was a bachelor's in broadcast media.
Nice. So you're all good with this then?
I'm used to it. I'm used to it. You put a mic in front of me, and I'm used to it.
Yeah. So for me, I went to Blue Ridge High School. We didn't have classes. I don't have many classes where we're with mics and learning all that stuff.
Audio stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So none of that happened with us. And so you're playing you do music as?
Yeah, I'm a musician. I'm a contract musician, so I play drums. I also play bass and keys and stuff, but my main instrument that I'm best at is drums. So that's what I get called most to do. I play everywhere. I play with local artist named Kylie Odetta. A dude named, his stage name is Darian Scott. I play in and out at churches a lot. I do a lot of worship stuff. Yeah. But I also, I'm not tied to worship. I play just about anything, jazz, pop, whatever I love. And I love music, so I play everything.
And so you have a studio?
Yeah, recording studio.
What's the name of that?
The name of my recording studio is Asaph Records. ASAPH. It's actually named after psalmist in the Bible, Asaph. So if you read through the Psalms, some of them at the end will say a Psalm of Asaph, and I just love him. My church actually did a series my pastor preached called the Songwriter Series, where we went through and just really dove deep every Sunday morning into the Psalms that Asaph wrote, and he was an incredible songwriter. It's awesome. And so I loved that name, and I liked it. It resonated with me, so I said, you know what? I'm opening this recording studio, and instead of it calling it Shane Nelson Studios, I'm going to give it a cool Asaph Records. And so it had a ring. Everyone I ran it by loved it. Got logos made, and ever since then.
It started just taking off.
Yeah.
How long has that been open, or have you been?
I opened it the day I got out of college. So the day that I could devote my time to it, 100% of my time, I opened it up, and so I'm trying to push through, man, just get work done.
And so how does a studio, how do you brand, how do you market that? How do you get to people? Well, see, so you already do sing, or you do instruments at church.
Right.
So does that help a lot, or
actually
promoting?
It helps. It really, really helps me out because one of my favorite projects I've worked on, everyone go look it up. It's by this artist named Kylie Odetta. I mentioned her a second ago. Really, really great singer-songwriter vibe, and I played drums with her. I've played with her for a few years now, and we just had a conversation about how I do music, music production, and we also play together at New Spring Church sometimes, because I'll play there in and out. But yeah, she found out that I do music, and then decided, hey, I want you to work on this new song. Let's work on it together and see if it goes somewhere. She didn't even originally want to release the song. She just kind of wanted to test trial and see what happened, and ended up releasing it and loved it. I ended up playing drums on it and mixing it, and she sent it off to someone else to master it, but helping produce a little bit. But yeah, it was great. So basically playing with people gets my foot in the door for me to say, hey, this is it. This is also what I do, and also just going to shows, man, and meeting people, knowing people. Yeah. So yeah, being a musician definitely helps me out. It gives my name credibility for a freshly opened
Yeah.
business.
Yep, that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. And so that's in Greenville? Or?
Greenville, yeah. It's in my house, so it's like the coolest
Really?
vibe. It's got like this really homey, like,
That's sweet.
I can tell you my dream. My dream is in the next 5 years to have a dedicated space that's on my property where it's got everything. It's got bunks, TVs, like kitchens, groceries, like stuff where bands just come and live for
That's
a
awesome.
week, months, however long
Yeah.
they want to pay rent. Not pay rent, but
Yeah.
I'll charge them, and like you rent me with that too. So we work on your album or
Yeah.
your song or whatever, and you don't have to worry about getting a hotel. You don't have to worry about doing whatever. Man, we got it. You just bring it. I've got all the instruments. I've got
Yeah.
everything. You just show up and play.
Wow, so you want people to like really be full set into like just all in on it? Like,
Yeah,
just,
I hate using this word, but it describes it. I want it to be an experience, like not just a studio, but we went and we experienced like this hospitality, and it helped us to be creative.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Huh, that's really awesome. So people will come, pretty much, like you said, live there, and just, because it's hard for people, I won't say hard, but for me, I just do a clothing brand, so it's hard to be like, I'm working on it, and then I come home, I said, I'm working through every day, like, about the clothing brand, I'm working, and then I come home, or I leave the office, and then I come home, and then like you get home, that home feeling, and you just want to like,
Yeah.
you kind of take your mind off.
Relax.
So yeah, relax, exactly. So people will want you to, what you're wanting to do, just people will be just all in, like just mind focused,
Yeah.
and just like really be about like that's a part of them the whole time they're there.
Yeah, dude, I love that, and I also like the idea of them relaxing, because in my mind and the way I work, and most of the 99% of the people I know can't create out of stressful environments where it's like, man, one of the most stressful things for a singer is you put a microphone in front of them, and it's just you and them in the room, and I have on headphones, and I'm listening intently to their pitch and the way they're saying words and what they're singing and how they're feeling it, and if they're feeling it a different way or whatever, and they're under a microscope, and that's stressful.
Yeah.
Like that's incredibly stressful. So I want it to feel like you're at home.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we're at your house,
Yep.
and we're super comfortable. I'm
Yeah.
super comfortable. I'm able to talk more, and you're going to get a better performance out of me for this podcast. Same thing translates into the music world. I want you to feel comfortable. Like, I want to be in my pajamas. I want you to be in your pajamas. You
Yeah.
ain't got to wear shoes. Like, have your socks on. Like, just hang out.
Yeah.
We want to have fun.
Yeah, because you don't want to go somewhere and you're uncomfortable and you won't go to really like your vision. It's hard to be uncomfortable in situations and really your full potential into.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's hard to create. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you got an artist coming in and they want to be like, say I'm an artist. I want to be Shane.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me because I'm sitting in an unfamiliar room and I'm sitting with someone who's going to tell me that I suck, basically. What's funny is I'm labeled a producer. I'm also labeled a mix engineer. And my studio does mastering and recording and all that stuff. But I really love mixing. That's what I love doing. But I do everything. So basically, what's funny is like being a producer sucks because you're basically the guy that sits there and says, okay, so you just sang, you wrote this song. You wrote this beautiful song that's about your breakup, right? You wrote this song that's about a breakup. Now, I want you to sing it for me, and I'm going to tear it apart,
Yeah.
and we're going to rebuild it together. That's pretty much what the producer hat is. I think people get confused between like producer and mix engineer, all this stuff. They're all different hats, and the producer is just the guy who says, hey, this is the direction we're going. This is the end game. We're going to take the steps that we need to do to get there.
Yeah.
And so whether that's, hey, let's take that chorus and save it. Let's not sing that chorus until the end, or let's rewrite this lyric phrase to where it fits what you're saying. Like you've given me, basically, we're refiners. Producers are just refiners. You give me a chunk of your song, and you say, this is what I want it to say, and you have to trust me enough to believe that I'm going to get it there with your help. So that's pretty much what that is.
So the artist comes in, they come into your studio. they give you like a rough draft of what they want, and it's up to you to kind of break it down?
It depends. It depends on the artist.
Yep.
So I don't know when this podcast is going to air. Today is Sunday the 7th of August 2018. October, oh my gosh. October 2018. I just had a band release a single this past Friday. Their name is Paris Bridge. And they work like this. They'll send me, well, I've done 2 singles with them, and we're about to start working on a new EP for them, like 5 or 6 songs. I don't know for sure, so don't quote me, but they want me to work on an EP with them. So we've released 2 singles together. The first one's called Ghost Stories. The second one's called On the Inside, Not So Much, but the title's changed in and out, so I'm kind of fuzzy on what the titles actually. Just look up Paris Bridge on Spotify. They're awesome, really great guys. But the first single we worked on, they sent me an iPhone recording demo, like a voice memo that you play, and they put it.
They just like sang into it?
No, even better. They all are church musicians, but they wanted to do a pop punk band because that's their love for music. And so they went to their church and rehearsed and practiced and nailed this song out. And then went to the sound booth and set their phone on the sound booth and hit play, and then ran to the stage and played the whole song together, and then ran back and hit stop and sent that to me and said, hey, here's the tempo, here's the key that we're singing it in, here's kind of our vision for the song. We feel like it's 80% of the way there, but we want you to polish it. And so we ended up doing that. And actually, if you go listen to that song, Ghost Stories by Paris Bridge, you'll hear at the beginning, it's like, we gotta go, guys, it's recording. And that's an actual blip of the voice memo that they sent me. So I just put that in the actual song. So because it just like defines who they are.
Yeah.
So that I start with that. I'm working on a country EP with a guy right now, and he just sent me iPhone demos of him and an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what it is, we've got to build from there. And so basically, I recorded drums for that EP, and so I had him come in the studio, retrack everything with him and acoustic to a click, and I played drums to him and an acoustic to a click, and after that we had drums done. Then we called a bass player plays bass, we called the guitar player lays on top of that, and it's just grown, and now we have 3, I don't even remember, I think 4 full-on songs that are great, harmony vocals, lead vocals, all kinds of stuff, and it just builds from there. I've also had bands that just say, hey, I don't want you to produce, I want you to mix it, so here's the audio files that I've recorded already. I'm going to send it to you, and you mix it, balance it, make it sound good, and that's fine. It's just about knowing what hat you're wearing, producer hat, recording engineer, mix engineer. I think producers have more, I think mix engineers have less stress, but I think producers have more fun.
You like having more fun or more stress?
Depends on what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
It depends on who I'm working with too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true, because I mean, do you get many people that are like really
we use the term diva.
Diva.
Get people who are divas, and your divas are like, it's not a bad term, I don't mean it bad, but like Mariah Careys, who are like, this is the way I want it, and you're gonna do it this way because I'm paying you to do that. That's fine. If that's it, I'm totally fine with it, because at the end of the day, the artist is their own brand.
Yeah.
So just like ASAP Records is my brand, Taven, you're your own brand, man. Yeah. So like, you got to watch out for you. That's important.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have more fun as a producer in the sense of when it's like working with guys like Paris Bridge. They're like, dude, we want you to be you. Like, if we don't like it, we'll tell you. And that actually happened. A funny story. In this most recent song they released, On the Outside, Not So Much, they had a synthy breakdown, but they don't have a synth player. Yeah. So it was left to me to do all the like keys, synth, fancy stuff. And I spent a day. It's only like 8 bars of a song. It's in the song. It's not even a full song. I spent the whole day working out this synth breakdown to what I thought they would want it to be. Yeah. And played it for them, and they were like, yeah, we don't like that. Can we just start from scratch? And so
full day.
So with them, I just deleted all of it, and we started together, and ended up, I put a bunch of stuff in there, and we ended up with just like a bass synth and some little percussive elements and a little high-end synth, and that was it.
Yeah.
And they were like, we love that. And I was like, okay, but that was fun for me because like, it just is. It's a fun time plus they're bros and like you just get in and you're just hanging out.
Yeah. That's where it goes back to being comfortable.
It goes back to being comfortable.
Yeah.
They're all sitting on my couch in my studio with their shoes off. They got their like feet up, like sitting up on the desk, and they're like, yeah, can we make that hook sound like this, or can we do this? Can you add another synth that sounds like this? And it's fun. We're just experimenting, which is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And that's how to get also people coming, like new people coming back, because I got a couple tattoos, so. And there's a shop in Duncan that it's just like we go there on a Friday night, bring some pizza and just hang out, and he'll just do tattoos, like 5 of us, and we bring pizza, watch TV, like just kind of like just hang out waiting for our turn to go, and it just made it so relaxing that like I tell everybody like.
Or dude, like even take Zach, man. We have a mutual friend named Zach Byer who owns a barbershop. Plug Zach because he cuts my hair. It's awesome. But dude. It's fun. Like I texted him the other day and I was like, "Hey, let me bring you and Corey lunch." His brother works there also. Let me bring you and Corey lunch, and dude, we'll just hang out. And he cut my hair, and we just hung out for an hour. Like, it's fun. And so I tell all my friends to go get your hair cut by Zach.
Yeah,
like, that's what I tell them.
You don't want to go to a barbershop and it's the guys in there are just too cool.
Yeah.
You know, like they're too cool. They're trying to be people they're not, but. Yeah, it's like Zach cuts both our hair, so
yeah.
I go there every other week, so and I'll go there and tell him he's freaking 80 years old.
Exactly, he's my barber for life, like point blank, period.
He's a good dude.
But yeah, I want people to feel that way, and I want artists to go and tell their friends, their artist friends, hey, look, this guy at this studio made me feel like I was at home, and it allowed me to be as creative as I could to put out the best product.
Yep.
And so you need to go there.
Yep.
Yeah. Word of mouth, man. That's the bloodline of a studio.
And even, like with my clothing brand, it's I'm trying to mine is less it's more word, like I'm trying to push the word of mouth a lot. Like, so I'm trying to figure out ways to just push the everyone's. So if someone buys a T-shirt, and the quality's not good. Yeah. They're not gonna say, "Hey, dude, go buy one of these shirts."
Oh yeah.
The quality sucks.
You gotta make sure your product is there before you can have word of mouth, which is what I spent. I'm trying to think of when I started producing music, recording, mixing, producing music. In high school, like 10th grade, is when I first was like, "This is awesome." I literally begged and told my parents, like, I will pay for half of it. Can you guys just help me get a MacBook so I can start? Because there's a free program on a MacBook called GarageBand that you can record with. And then I did everything I could. I got a job to pay for it. Like this, it's honestly, it sounds bad, but it's honestly like become an addiction. Like I love recording music. I love recording anything, everything. And so starting in high school, and I've spent from then until now, like honing it in and like, this is the sound of ASAF Records. Yeah. And so this is what I think every mix engineer has a sound. Yeah. And so there's some signature things, which is what makes it fun. Like I can send one of my buddies in Nashville the same Pro Tools session that I'm using, and it's going to sound completely different. There's going to be elements that sound the same. The core is the same, but it's going to sound different. That's
what makes like people unique, because it's so like you go to one guy and it's completely different. Oh yeah. But it just that makes it him.
What's even funner is when you can collaborate.
Yes.
So I work a lot with another guy who owns a studio in Spartanburg named Jay Arrington, Greenbrier Studio, and we do the same thing differently. Yeah. And so he's an excellent arranger and just producer in general, but he's a killer, he's not even a good keys player, because he's a guitar player, but the stuff he does with keys is like, it sets the stage for the tone of the song to me. Yeah. It's called programming. That's like the actual name of it. His programming is like spot on, perfect. And then dude, his guitar playing is like, he just knows how to sit in the mix and sound like studio guitars. Like he just does. He's done it for so long. Whereas my thing is like, I love drums is my first love, and so I learned how to record drums and get incredible drum tones. Don't get me wrong, Jay has incredible drum tones, but like we're just different. Whereas like we've talked about this before, my drums, I always like them to be like super punchy and aggressive and in your face because they're drums.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, well, I want it to suit the mix. So like this mix, I'm like, I want this to be this way. And so the way we feel songs are different. And so collabing with him, I'm actually going to his studio to record drums tomorrow and the next day for an album. And the artist isn't even going to be there. They're just trusting us to get the drums right.
Yeah.
And it's an artist we've both played with before.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, I mean, you're a great producer, Jay. I'm an okay producer. Well, I'm confident we can get it done. And so just collaborating with people instead of making it this, no, Jay, I have to be better than you. Like, I need to take all your clients.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
That's crazy. Like, let's just work together and conquer the upstate together instead of trying to put it all on one shoulder.
That's so true.
Because even if all the artists in the upstate came to me, I wouldn't be able to work with them all. Because there's a lot of people in the upstate. Same thing with him. And so we've talked about things in the future and how things are going to go. But man, I'm really about like collaborating and working with other people and not trying to be the best, but trying to be like the guy that's easy to work with.
Yeah. That people just want to come and say, that dude is like somebody that is just awesome to be around. I want to go to a studio and I'll record, you know.
I even see, because in my mind, I try to be confident and, you know, I try to be like, the artist says, can you do this? Yeah, I can do that. But also there's that voice like in the back of your head that's like, nah, man, you suck. Like, you can't do that. But turn that off and realize what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
And when you understand where your limits are, you can A, know what to say yes and no to, and B, you can understand how to push those limits to grow yourself. And so I would rather be the guy who is not that great. I think I'm good, but I'd rather be the guy who's not that great and has the greatest attitude and will try anything for you and break his back to give you the best product than to be that guy that's like untouchable.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so true.
I've heard of producers who are like telling the artists, no, this is how the song is going to go.
Really?
In my mind, I'm like, you didn't write that song.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. You know what that song feels for you, but you need to figure out what the artist wants.
Yeah, because the artist, that song is who they are. Like, that song is...
Especially if you're getting to artists who write their own songs, which is a totally different podcast you could have. But artists who write their own music are attached to their songs.
Exactly.
So there's a way, you know, the Bible says, I'm paraphrasing, but honesty without tact is foolishness.
Yeah.
So if you just go spouting off out the mouth how this artist's song sucks and all this crap, you're foolish.
Yeah.
Number one, because you're going to upset them and they're not going to want to work with you.
And they're not going to tell people, hey, go work there.
Right. Which, if you're like me, where this is your livelihood and that's how you make money, that's how I have a fiance, I'm planning a wedding, I'm paying for a wedding, I'm going to have a wife in May, and I'm going to have kids down the road. How am I going to pay for these kids if I'm a jerk and no one wants to work with them?
Yeah. So you got maybe some people, what I think is don't think too much. They're more of a present person, and so they don't think of the actions of what we'll do down the road.
Yeah.
So say they're them. It's their studio. They want it their way.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm trying to think of the end game.
There are repercussions in the future of what they do now.
So it's my fundamental belief, to piggyback off of that, it's my fundamental belief, and I could just be stupid and naive and think Greenville is the best town ever, but I really do think that Greenville there's a stirring in the music industry in Greenville, and I believe in the next 15, 20 years it's going to be like Nashville. I mean, the notoriety, the people that are coming out of Greenville, I just think it's going to be awesome, and I want my studio to be on the ground floor of that, because one of my favorite studios ever is Blackbird Studios in Nashville, owned by John McBride and Martina McBride. And they're like the best studio in the world. Maybe not the world, but in America. One of the best, top three. Yeah. And they've been around since Nashville.
They're at the roots of Nashville.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to get to that, and it sucks right now, you know?
Yeah.
It just does, because I don't have the backing, like I don't have the name recognition yet, and so it's starting. But dude, I'm telling you, like, just the fact that like you reach out and it's like, hey man, you want a studio? I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Or artists are starting to hear about me more and more because of their artist friends. Man, God's just blessing.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's proving that like I'm a Christian, obviously. I pay my tithes, and I believe like that's important. And for me, man, giving, when I'm generous with my money, not even to the church, but like to people,
Yeah.
I just find that I bless more.
Yeah.
And like ultimately that's the end game for me. I want to be so rich that I can give it all away
Yeah.
to
That's awesome.
whoever wants it. My wife, not even my family, but my wife and my kids, to make sure that they're always fed, taken care of, and have what they want and need. And then I want my friends and my family and that homeless guy who's sitting across the street, like that's my end game.
Yeah.
And so when I know the end game, like you said, you're thinking about the end and you're not thinking about the future. I know what I want for the future.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking these small baby steps just to do that. And I feel like, honestly, dude, I feel like I'm climbing up a mountain with a boulder on my back, but I know that I'll get there eventually. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know, what would you tell people that want to get into the studio bit, like that side? Just, you know, what are some overall just tips or saying?
Don't, because you'll take all my clients. JK, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Total joke. I'm not serious. Man, I see a lot of people that say, man, I'm too old. And I had a friend who's like in his 40s that's like, man, I'm too old to even get in the studio business. I'm like, that's foolish, dude.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, that's my thing. That's my personality. I have what my fiance calls a very aggressive personality, in the sense of I know what I want, I see what I want, I know the steps, or I think I can figure out the steps it takes to get there, and I will get it. Point blank, period. You're not going to tell me no. You're not going to tell me I can't do it, because when you tell me those things, it just makes me want to fight harder. So honestly, dude, do it. Like, if anyone that says to me I can't do it, I'm like, number one, you're a liar. You can do it. Number two, just do it. It's action. So I'm a big proponent of your actions speak louder than your words. And on the more technical side, my studio, man, I was blessed. Like, let me tell you something, dude. I was blessed. The church I attend really, really funded and invested in my studio. And so I have a studio that's worth about $50,000 in just gear alone. And a lot of that was funded by my church because they believe in what I'm doing. And I work there part-time to help them out in any way possible, usually with like worship and the technical side of worship. We run like loops and tracks and all this crazy stuff. And I'm the one who organizes all of that. And I work with our worship leader. My actual role is his assistant, so I pretty much do any and everything he wants. I did hospital visits the other day, and it was awesome, to this morning MDing, like music directing and doing that stuff. So, but man, all that to say, you don't need $50,000 to do it.
Yeah.
You can literally, most people have the means to record something. And if you don't believe me, dig in your pocket and pull out your phone. There's a guy on YouTube, his name is Graham Cochran. He runs this YouTube channel called The Recording Revolution, and he's like single-handedly proving that you don't need a multi-million-dollar studio to produce music. He took his iPhone, because you can buy GarageBand on your iPhone, it's like $5 in the App Store. It might be free on the new iPhones. I'm pretty sure it's free. It comes for free.
Actually, I think it is on the new ones.
Yeah. He took his iPhone and took the headphones, not the new earpods, but like the headphones that plug in, and recorded a whole song with that. Drums. Dude, recording drums, not like sampling them. Put the mic in front of the drums and find the best spot. Vocals, guitars, bass, and it sounded good. And that
words that I say. Downtown the lights out, but we choose to stay. I don't know where this may go. These strangers know all the words at my shows. I tell, she loving our style. It makes her face red whenever I smile.